Alright, we got him green light on the stream button, which means the stream's going live. I don't know if you guys are watching. I think you might be. Let me see here. Switch over so I can monitor. So I can keep an eye on you early Wednesday morning viewers. Here we are. It's time to make some art in the morning. You know, I always have trouble the night before a stream, like on Tuesday night and Sunday night, thinking, boy, well, you know, I've got a lot of great ideas, but which am I going to do today? And that's kind of how I was this morning. I laid down and cuddled with the cat for a little while. He helps me think, and and we came up with an idea for today. So that's good. I've got some in store, but I wasn't quite feeling any of them. Luckily, they were restored when they were all lost on that iPhone that I wiped. I had that list of strip ideas backed up, luckily, to my Mac, and was able to retrieve that. But this is a fresh, new idea based on the fact that I've got a job interview on Monday for an actual job. How about that? None of this wild, woolly freelancer stuff for me. Hopefully. Knock on wood. You know, being a freelancer is nice. There's certain flexibility and things that. Just fixing the camera here. This you did a great job, Jay. There we go. There's certain benefits to the flexibility and being able to work any hours at night that I want, or get out during the day and da 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 da. But I just prefer an environment where I go in, I interact with some humans a little while. I get a paycheck, I get paid time off and 401k and health insurance. Yay, health insurance! I've got it right now through the ACA, but it would be better if it was yay, health insurance that doesn't suck or is a pain in the ass. But anyway, I digress. So I got a job interview on Monday morning. I applied yesterday morning at about 10, and they called me for a phone interview about 3, and I'm going in Monday for the face-to-face. I think it'll go all right. I'm really excited because it's one of the top-rated places in the Milwaukee area as far as like places to work. It's award-winning, so that's exciting. So that is going to be the topic of today's strip. The fact that I haven't had to have a job interview since 2007, February 2007, I think was the last time that I started a new job. So that's going to be the topic here today. Not having a job interview since the Bush administration. Right, so let me just clear off my work area. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind today. I was going through my closet seeing what, if any, decent shirts fit, and putting a bag together for Goodwill at the same time. All right, so we've got the 2-panel template rocking already today, and I tested the brush sensitivity, so so far so good on that one. Let's get over to the layers. I'm going to lock everything up except for the blue line, like we always do, and jump over to the blob brush. Pick us a nice blue color. We don't need to fill on that, so there we go. And let's just jump right into this. So the first panel is going to be there. It's going to be Troll talking to JPuff. Let's check the size of this brush. We want it to be 3. No, so he's going to be over here. Looking very woolly. That was a terrible line, but I'll fix it in ink. I don't want to really mess with success there. It took some time yesterday, or yeah, I guess it was yesterday, and dang it, that loop filled in, and read through the entire body of my strips. We're coming up on 50 strips that I've done, so that's something. And it's funny just to see how Troll changes from strip to strip, basically. And I guess not as much as Winston does. think his nose is too big. And his eyes are too small. So let's go for a redo on that one. And of course, we'll give him the mansplaining hand, like we like to do. He's part Italian, so he speaks with his hands. Hey, fafangu! That means, fuck you. My grandma taught me that. Alright, I'm going to put in the stripes just so I don't forget, because I like to forget. And if we need to, we can, I'm just doing this fast and dirty here. Alright, if we need to, we can move him down, because it's not important to show his body. And he's talking to J-Puff. It's going to be about right there. It was actually fun to see how much they'd all changed. All the characters. J-Puff had been a little bit more expressive in the past. Alright. And again, we can move her around if we need to. So I'm going to save that real quick. Again, I've got it saved. Use a file name for tomorrow's date because you guys are seeing this a day early. It posts everywhere on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Alright, some delicious dihydrogen oxide. Alright, and then the second strip is going to be Troll. Like more zoomed in on his face. His beard's not so wild. His mouth is now talking in the opposite direction. He's got a tie on. Because he's at a job interview. It's a terrible line. No hat today. So the funny thing happened is that my sister is visiting my parents in Colorado, or she has been for the last 3 weeks, and she works for a school system, so she's got the summers off. And she called me yesterday to remind me that I had agreed to pick her up from the airport today. And, oh crap, thanks for reminding me. I'd completely forgotten because it's been, a month since she asked me. And I'm sure it was on my phone calendar, but I don't often look at my phone calendar. So I'm glad that she called and reminded me. But then I told her, I'm like, I've applied for this. She asked me what I was doing. I was like, I applied for this job. Looks pretty promising. And she's like, okay, cool. Well, if they call you and have an interview set up for tomorrow, no big deal. I can find some other way to get home from the airport. And, we kind of had a laugh about that because obviously they weren't going to call me in and have me come for an interview the next day. The track record I've been having applying for jobs in the last few months is that nobody even contacts me even to reject me, generally. So we had a laugh. And then it turns out that when the lady called me and gave me the phone interview that afternoon, she was like, well, I know it's kind of short notice, but if you want, you can come in for an interview tomorrow. Which is, what my sister and I had been joking about. But luckily, I'm like, so I told her the story. She was pretty cool. And I'm like, if it's gonna do points against me, I'll come in tomorrow, and my sister can find another way home from the airport. But otherwise, we could do, she had offered to do it next week, and she's like, oh no, that's no problem. So we're all set up. My sister's coming home from the airport. and we'll be good. All right, so the last frame is going to be a lot of dialogue, so I'm going to leave a bunch of space up there at the top. Actually, both frames are sort of dialogue. Heavy. Let's get his little lip in there. Give him a cuff over here. All right, cool. Good. Yeah, that means that I actually have to go out. Like, this shirt's pretty nice, but I can't wear it for an interview. So I was going through my closet to see what kind of nice shirts that will fit my Rubenesque form. Uh, and yeah, I think I have a couple ties that'll probably do it, although I threw a bunch of them in the Goodwill bag too. But I think I'm going to need at least a nice shirt and some pants. Yeah, Brad. Brad just texted me asking about a new job, and I've got a job interview on Monday. So for a pretty cool place. It's actually, they make a concealed carry magazine, and they offer insurance for, like, concealed carry matters, legal advice, legal coverage and stuff like that, training for concealed carry permits and things like that. So right up my alley. I right on my resume I wrote, responsible permit holder. All right. So let's see here. We're gonna dump in some dialogue. Let's save that real quick. Jump over here to the balloon layer. Yeah, Brad, it's rated one of the top places to work in the Milwaukee area. A real good corporate culture. Actually, kind of reminds me of Ammo. From what I could tell on the website, they had videos about their workflow and stuff like that. It seemed like everyone was kind of cool and fun, so that'll be all right. All right, I'll type in this text, and then we might have to move JPuff around, but it'll be all right. Okay, caps lock's on. Our font is Caballar, which I got off of defont.com, and sent a donation to the author of it, the creator of it. He lives in Spain. And we got it centered, and then the paragraph, we want to turn off the hyphenation. And let's do this. Come on, get in there. So he's saying, I'm a little nervous. I haven't had a job interview since the Bush administration. All right, I think that adding that "to be honest" kind of makes that a nicer looking block there. To be honest, I'm a little nervous. I haven't had a job interview since the Bush administration. And then we can hop down here to the blue line and take JPuff. Oops. Gotta grab her all, though. Oops. Dang it. Hold on. Please hold. There we go. Group her up. Control G. Groups her. So I'm going to do her down here. And then I think I'm also just going to take all of Troll. Control G. Groups him. And move him down like I thought we might have to. And I can always make this type a little bit smaller. Like if I wanted to make this 16 point instead of 18 point, I might do that. Let's see, there's no preset for 16, so I'll just type that in. And then we can stretch that out a little bit. Alright, and then I'm going to make JPuff go up higher. Alright, and then on the balloon layer, she's going to be saying, But you did great back then. Just channel some of that old juju. Alright, and let's see. It's kind of awkward placement here. All the elements, but that's why we stop it. That's why we do the blue line. And we don't need to see his hand, so that's not a huge deal. I think I want to make her a little bit bigger. And move this guy down a little. Come on. Alright, sweet. And then in the second frame, let's save that since I did so much monkeying around with it. And the last panel, Mr. Troll, please describe a situation in which you made an executive decision which affected numerous people. Alright. And Troll is going to be responding. Great question. I had this dialogue all worked out in my head this morning. Great question. I'll probably go around and change this, but I just want to get it down and kick it back and forth for a little bit. A great question. I had to make the difficult decision of who gets my top 8 spaces on MySpace. Get it? Because he hasn't had an interview since 2006, so he's talking about MySpace. Ah, this is fucking awesome comedy right here, kids. All right. But I think that line is clunky, so great question. I had to make the difficult decision of who gets my top 8 spaces. I had to make the difficult decision of choosing my top 8 friends. I don't like the repetition of the word spaces and space, MySpace, of assigning my top 8 friends on MySpace. There we go. Excellent. Nobody doesn't like a MySpace joke. All right, and then hop down to the blue line. Save that real quick. Alright, I'm going to group that guy up. I'm going to shrink him down because I don't want to miss too much of him. I like how he's drawn. So I don't want to lose too much of that tie. The groomed troll look. And, you know, the paper and stuff on the table kind of makes it too. Alright, and I think maybe what we need to do for both these cases is kick this type down one size smaller, maybe down to 14. 14's still pretty readable. I never know, like, if someone's looking at these on their phone. I hate to make the type too small and unreadable. but I think 14 points is still okay. Alright, we can move J-Puff up a bit. Yeah, this is much better kind of flow. And then I can make him a little bit bigger. Actually, I don't think I need to. It works out. Just make this guy flow a little bit better. Let's save that real quick. Great question. I had to make the difficult decision of signing my top 8 friends on MySpace. How about that once? I'm going to stretch this out, make it flow a little bit better. How about that old 2006 Juju? It ties it in a little bit, like heavy-handedly rams the setup for the joke. All right, and of course we move these paragraphs around a little bit depending on how haphazardly I draw the balloons. So I had a chance to take a look at Jonathan Allen's webcomic. It's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that with me, Jonathan. I really, like I said in that message to you, I really enjoyed the flow and how your characters, turn, and it's very engaging. Pretty cool. I like it. It's a nice logical movement through the panel. And I think through the strip. I think I've talked about that a little bit here about how just making characters face certain ways or having the flow of paragraphs really makes a big difference to tie things in. Make the eyeballs flow. I think what I want, that lower left-hand corner or the lower right-hand corner of the first panel, I don't like that empty space there, and we could throw in, some halftone, but I think I'm going to draw Winston real quick. He's hanging out here taking a nap next to me, so why not? He's part of the family. And of course I never draw him the same way twice, so. I think it's going to be the back of him. He's engaged. Yeah, cool, man. It's nice. Alright, so let's save that. And then I'll lock up the blue line layer. Jump over here to the ink layer, change the brush to black. Let's see how that. Okay, it says that it's a rich black. We'll see if we believe it. And just get to drawing everybody in. So right here with J-Puff. J-Pop is what I call the actual human woman that lives with me. Sometimes. J-Puff is the character. It's going to be like that, isn't it? Filling in my loops. And it didn't do it at all on her body, just on her mouth. So there we go. And then the old troll daddy over here. I can tell that this black is wrong. So I'm going to select same fill color. Yep, that's better. I don't know why I do it. Alright, and then draw an ear bone in here. See if we can get this not to loop. Hey, how about that? Only a little bit? I'll take it. That one got a little janky, so let's try it again. That'll do. Little hat. Alright, and then like I said, we always draw these shirt lines a little heavier just because there's so much noise going on with those lines with the plaid. That it differentiates. Oh, this thing's extra thick. It seems like it's on 7 point, which it wouldn't surprise me if it had reset itself. But no, it says 3. Maybe I'm just zoomed in super far or something. Alright, while we're here, we'll do the lines. I'm going to save it real quick just because Illustrator lagged behind my line just then, and I don't want to risk crashing and losing it all. I've got the song Hard Knock Life stuck in my head, but like the rap version. So there's that. I got that going for me. Why, oh why did I ever put him in a plaid shirt? Says the guy that's wearing a plaid shirt. Alright. I didn't like that last line, so we'll get rid of it. And then one stone down here. Okay, let's save that. Take a little drink of water. Job interview. Troll. Nice clean head. Should probably trim my beard before I go in. I think that nose is too big, so I'm gonna knock that down a little bit here in this step. Brad, how's school going? Are you on a break, or are you mucking on through the summer? Nice, nice. You're always working hard on something, man. What's your paper on? Maybe something I won't understand at all. For those of you that can't read the chat, Brad says that school's about to start back up, but he's been working on a paper for publication. He's getting his PhD at Texas State. Working like a mofo. Sorry. Just making conversation. Oops. Alright. I think I owe it to myself to change to a smaller brush here, drawing this pencil. Pump it down to 1 point. I don't like that either, though. There we go. That's a janky-ass pencil. Alright, let's try this again, Jay. Alright, let's I want to try a slightly bigger brush, but not as big as the 3, so we'll go 3, or we'll go 2 here. I drew it just fine in the blue line layer. I can't do it now that the heat is on. There you go. That's good enough for government work. Say that slower now, Brad. He says it's about using commodity hardware for power-saving web servers. I want you to say that now, but like with a slower and with a French accent. A little breathy. I'm going to change the brush back to 3 points from the 2 points I had been using. And jump up here to the balloon layer, put in the balloons. I always like to run one off the top. Alright, and as you can see, I'll probably recenter that. There you go. Let's get over here. Save that real quick. Looking at this top paragraph on the last panel, I want to drop A down and then drop and down. I like to keep articles with their subjects. Alright, cool. And then let's see how that looks. Okay, let's get some lines in there then, some balloons. Very excited, so I'm throwing an exclamation point in there. throwing me off having that highlighted. There we go. I think I'm going to do the tail for the balloon over on this side. There we go. All right, cool. And that that blank space to his left, I can just throw in some halftoning. That'll be fine. All right, let's save it. We're locking up the ink and the blue line layers. Gonna hide their ink and the balloon layers, hiding the blue line layers. I'm gonna hop down here to shading. Pick a nice light gray like we do. Change the brush size to 7. Get to it. All these brushes seem huge today. I think it's just because I'm zoomed in so far. I think Troll's just smaller than I usually draw on. I think I'm going to switch this brush size down to 5. So I can see even then it's pretty wide in his mustache area. But it's okay. Damn it, I got that Hard Knock Life stuck in my head. Come on. Catch up, Illustrator. Gotta save it. Alright. Rom sent me a link the other day to some royalty-free music, and I haven't had a chance to check that out yet. I always forget to do it, and then here we are. Just listening to each other breathe. I guess you guys are listening to me breathe. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. But I'll have to check that out maybe over the weekend there, Rom. Be pretty cool, probably. I saw someone that started streaming one of the old school artists, the guy that does a lot of the stuff for Lamentation of the Flame Princess. He started streaming on a service called Mixer because Twitch doesn't let you have nudity. So you know, he's got to draw some titties for that game. So he does it on Mixer. I need to like look into that and see. The only reason I use YouTube for this is so that I can restrict it to just you guys. You know, I can have a private link that only goes out to my Patreons. Where Twitch, you can't do that. But if this Mixer can do it, I might just move all my streams over there. I'll, of course, let you guys know if that becomes the case. I'm going to give him big, sweaty pits while I was thinking about it. Got distracted. All right. Now I think I'm going to do the whole table in that gray color. Actually, I might do it in a darker gray color. I think what I want to do here, come on, is fill in all of Winston gray, the light gray. Jump this back up to 7 points here. And then I'll do his stripes in the darker gray. I just want him to be, you know, I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious to me that it's the back of his head and he's looking into the scene. But maybe we'll just drive that home a little bit. Let's try that again. I'm using a much darker gray, but it wasn't. There we go. It wasn't coming out. All right. Yeah, like that. And then I'm actually going to use the shape tool, I think, for this one, just to fill in this whole area with that dark gray. It's not filling right now because I've got it set on the stroke, not on the fill. But we'll fix that here as soon as I'm done making the shape. Let's get rid of that last line there. There you go. Sloppy line. And then, boop. And then all we have to do is paint in. Come on. Paint in white on the pencil. There we go. Okay. We need to do J-Puff. I was zoomed in so close that I forgot about her. Poor lady. Use the eyedropper tool to make sure I've got the same shade of gray. It's easy to pick the wrong one. Alright, let's zoom out and see how this looks. To be honest, I'm a little nervous. I haven't had a job interview since the Bush administration. We did great back then. Just channel some of that old 2006 usual. Mr. Troll, please describe a situation in which you made an executive decision which affected numerous people. Great question. I once had to make the difficult decision of signing the top 8 friends on MySpace. I'm going to change this witch to that. Let's see here. Up on the balloon layer, we're going to lock the shading layer, in which you made an executive decision that affected. Because that witch and then witch. And I think I want to change the order of this line to set up the situation first. So I haven't had a job interview since the Bush administration. And now we know what's going on, you know? I haven't had a job with this, especially to be honest. I'm a little nervous about it. Yeah, I need something to flesh out that bottom line because we don't want that one. I might have been just better off not messing with this line at all, but we'll see. I'm a job with this, especially to be honest. I'm a little nervous about it. I'm going to grab this line here, bring it down just a little bit, and what we can do is we can even shorten it up. Beautiful thing about working with vectors here. Okay, that works. All right, so let's save that. And then we're hopping to the halftone layer. We're almost there. We're nice and on time today, despite all my jibber jabber at the beginning. And I think that's just because it's a two-panel thing. Pretty simple. Now the front, I do want a halftone in here, but it's going to be like a subtle one. It's going to be solid black. Let's choose everybody's favorite time of day. Choosing a halftone. There you go. I think that's the right one. Yeah. Okay, we're going with this halftone. Just a little something, you know. The one in the last panel will be heavier because I've got that area to fill. So take this shape tool and just block out some white. I'm just going to go ahead and do this whole balloon. Just in case I need to move it around a little bit in the final glimpses. You know, I do this with you guys, and it's, you know, it's a little bit different than just being able to completely immerse myself in it and, you know, wrap my head around the artistic troubles. But sometimes I go back and I look at it and then make executive decisions on adjusting things. Like that one with the laundry mountain. And I went in and added a lot of dialogue on that, changed some dialogue and moved things around a little. So it's always good to reserve the right to do that and set yourself up for success. Come on. By not cutting corners. Alright, control is all blocked out. That guy's good. Let's save it. Alright, and then on this one, I want kind of a large oval shape is what I'm feeling here. That rockets off this way. And then this one we switch the fill up to a halftone. Excuse me, halftone that's a little dark. That one might not be bad. Let's see how it looks after we get the troll blocked out. Illustrator's lagging a little bit. I hope it hangs in there for me. I can see zooming in on this black that it is back to the flat black. One of the mysteries. Alright, I'm just gonna, while I'm in here, I'm just gonna do Troll's whole body. Again, for that same reason, if I need to move him around a little bit later or resize him or something. The whole body will be knocked out of the background. None more black. It looks to me like even the, well, like the black of the lines on Troll is a different black than the on the balloon. So what I'm going to do is select that black, select all the same color, same fill color. Yeah, see, it's not selecting, and then change it. Yeah, there we go. Didn't know why it does that, or even if it matters, but it's one of my things. Okay, I'm going to save that, and then we'll zoom out and see how that. Yeah, that filled up that space. I haven't had a job review since the Bush administration. To be honest, I'm a little nervous about it. But you did great back then. Just channel some of that old 2006 juju. Mr. Troll, please describe a situation in which you made an executive decision that affected numerous people. Great question. I once had to make a difficult decision of assigning my top 8 friends on MySpace. I don't know if I'm being a little bit picky, but the repetition of the word decision, an executive decision, nah, he's repeating what they're saying, which I think shows that he's paying attention. It's all a dance. Moving that guy out from the wall a little bit. So see, it's good that I filled up that whole balloon. Good. I once had to make the difficult decision of assigning my top 8. Alright. I think that we're done. Please describe a situation in which you made an executive decision that affected you. Good question. I once had to make the difficult decision of assigning my top 8 friends on MySpace. How about I once faced the difficult task? Yeah, I like that better. And it flows really nicely. I once faced a difficult task of assigning my top 8 friends on MySpace. Cool. Alright. See, we worked through that. That's it, kids. I'm going to save this and export it, post it to Patreon. I need to look at Patreon and make sure that I posted the last one we did together. I know I posted it to Facebook and Twitter and trollandfriends.com, but I don't know if I did it to Patreon. Oops. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Anyway, this one's done, and thank you guys for tuning in. Knock on wood, no real technical problems today. And, oh, as long as we're on the subject here of job interviews, obviously Monday morning I'm going to be indisposed, so I won't be doing a stream on Monday morning. I'll still be doing a strip. I'll either do it on Sunday or later on Monday night and posting it to Patreon. So you'll still get your early sneak peek at it. It just won't be live. So, but I guess I could tape it and post it if you're interested in that kind of thing. But who has that kind of time? You guys have better things to do. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate each and every one of you.